The man you're talking about is called Alexander Pierce. He stole big money from a gangster. They think you are him.
And action!
The boat chase should be fun. It should be boats crashing, people shooting at each other. How real can you make it? How dangerous?
The canal chase is important for us.
What would you do? How far would you go? How much danger would you allow yourself to be in?
Originally, the action sequence that I devised for this whole thing was that Johnny was just going to be brought onto the boat of the Russians, so they would take him away. And in that moment, Angelina, who's been hiding on there, comes with a motorcycle and scoops Johnny up and starts chasing away through the narrow alleys of Venice. But Venice would not give us the authorization to shoot a motorcycle drive through the streets. So we adapted it to this boat chase scene and had the Russians on foot and then on boat.
There were many versions of this chase. Motorcycles flipping over this, cars crushing this. And there's elements of all of that, but at the end of the day, there's that nice mix of humor and personality kind of inserted.
I wanted to not shoot the action sequence the way that they're usually shot. So we went a little bit wider on this whole thing and actually had it all happen for real.
When they did the Italian job here, they had a boat chase, and it so upset the Venetians that they swore they'd never allow filming on the canals again. But we needed to, and finally they gave us permission, and we're subject to quite a number of restrictions.
If there's too much turbulence in the water, the waves actually expose the wooden pillars that the canals are built on for a second, and thereby leading to corrosion of those pillars.
They need to preserve the canals, and the buildings are quite old. They don't like waves and water and all the other activities.
So that will actually lead to the collapse of Venice.
And the canals are the access of the life in Venice.
So we now had to think of a way, okay, how can you have a boat chase in Venice that can plausibly take place at a very low speed? So you will never see a faster boat chase in Venice. And I think it was a real challenge for our stunt coordinator, Simon Crane, to actually have everything that goes on there happen in reality. Nothing was cheated there.
We're shooting for 7 nights, and it involves people on foot chasing the boat. They're running across the bridges in Venice, the boats are traveling along, they're going backwards, colliding with various things, and they're getting shot at. To get the boat to turn around, we have various quick releases, which they're a set order how they release. So the back or the middle releases first, there's a pole, special effects, bends over, that turns the boat, and then we trigger a hidden wire at the front, which then lets the boat go backwards.
I'm driving from underneath the dashboard. In order to get the boat to do violent smashes against the sides and do this, we had to adapt the boat and put a little outboard engine in the front.
We've done about 3 weeks rehearsals just to get the boats performing well.
I think whenever you shoot on water, it's a challenge, and the actors were certainly up for it. It was a tough time for them, and I remember Johnny was like, I can't do this anymore. It's crazy. You know, it was like the boats smashing into each other and stuff, but you know, again, having Simon Crane on board, I mean, he's the best of doing what he does. He's the best second guy in the business.
I think Simon Crane is a certified action genius, and I sometimes feel like I'm asking Arnold Schwarzenegger to lift a paperweight because, of course, in comparison to Titanic and all the other films that he's done, this is very easy, but he's actually enjoying that. He's enjoying the challenge of making action all about beauty and choreography and elegance, and it's been incredible to work with.
It's really just to make it look very believable, very real, but it's still got to look pretty. And you know, when we're doing a sequence like this, it's somewhat stylized, so it's interesting.
Rising and falling tides are a big problem because it seems to be changing from one minute to the next, so what you're seeing on film is very realistic.
We're going into high tide, and as you can see, the water is getting higher and higher, and there will come a point when our taxi will go under there just about. The camera boat, especially with that crane on, will not.
As the tide goes down here, we expose 6 or 7 stairs. So we wouldn't be able to do that stunt on the low tide. We have to do it on the mid to high tide.
We actually had the stuntman jump onto Angelina's boat, actually had her smash down. All of these things we tried out, and we know that even we could somehow live through them, and they could actually happen. So everything is being done for real.
You know, if somebody's climbing up on a boat, and instead of punching him in the face, I think I get a life raft and try to, like, you know.
Now, if you know about the waters of the Grand Canal, they are about as filthy as anything you can imagine.
It feels good, it doesn't taste good. Not quite August yet, and it's not quite Tahiti, but somebody has to do it. At least one good thing is here, I'm one with Venice. Venice canals are in my blood, in my system.
This was a seriously filthy and dangerous environment. But I still really needed these people to go in there. So weeks beforehand, they take all these antibiotics for a period of several weeks, and they said, we got so many pills that it was almost like a meal.
Whatever needs to be done, we'll get it done.
Again, it's like nothing they've seen before. It's a Venice they've not seen before.
It is truly the most unique location around, and we really couldn't think of a better place than Venice. In fact, it was the only place we could really think of setting this movie.
We have 3 big stars in the film. It's Angie, Johnny, and Venice.
The challenge is to be prepared. We know what we're going to do, we know what's going to happen, we've just got to capture it.
I think it just has a wonderful sense of fun, and it's got lovely twists and turns and good action and all those good traditional things, but in a film that is delightful. So it's an actually very cool action scene.
You know, what I hope they take away is that, most importantly, the possibility of chance and escape, you know.
I hope that people will just have an incredible ride.